Hello and welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. We're back on our Faaris 4 campaign and this is the Eldar's battle against the Blood Angels. We're going to be playing on this rural looking table today in a battle called Clash of Titans. It's an objectives based game. There's two objectives. There's the Eldar objective here and the Blood Angel objectives out in the open over here. But in addition to scoring those, each of us has our most expensive HQ unit, and if we manage to kill that HQ unit, that's worth an additional victory point. But you can claw it back because when the character dies, you leave it on the table as a marker, and that then becomes an objective which the person who owned the HQ can score. So you can then obviously undo the fact that they got a victory point for killing the HQ. The terrain the deployment type is random deployment type, and we've just rolled up everyone's favourite Dawn of War. So this will be the setup probably, unless we decide to put a couple of troops in HQ down. That's it. Oh, in the case of a tie, then it will go to kill points. So kill points are relevant here as well. Here's my Eldar army for today. We're playing 2,000 points. The army is being led by the super twins here. That's Eldrad and Uriel. Although in this Bealtan army I'm calling them Fiathrandale the Farseer and Prince Euthrace. They are joined by a squad of 10 Howling Banshees with an Exarch. The Exarch has an Executioner and the Acrobatic Exarch power. And they will be in this Wave Serpent with twin-linked Shuriken Cannons, a Shuriken Cannon and Spirit Stones. I have 2 units of 5 Fire Dragons. Here's one partially painted unit and fully painted unit here. Each of these Fire Dragon units is led by an Exarch. The Exarchs both have Fire Pikes and Crack Shots, and they will both be in Wave Serpents as well. These Wave Serpents also have twin-linked Shuriken Cannons and underslung Shuriken Cannon, but they don't have the Spirit Stones because I couldn't quite afford those. And because of this campaign special rules, I'm allowed a 4th elite choice because I control the terrain, the region which allows a 4th elite choice. So I've got this small unit of 5 Harlequins here. The Harlequins have a Shadow Seer and a Death Jester, and 4 of them, everyone other than the Death Jester, has Harlequin's Kisses. For troops, I have these 5 Dire Avengers. They're going to be doing their favourite tactic of hiding in a falcon, but we'll come on to that. A unit of 10 Guardians with a Scatter Laser, and they're led by a Warlock with Embolden. And a unit of 3 Guardian Jet Bikes, and one of the Guardian Jet Bikes has been upgraded to have a Shuriken Cannon on it. In the Heavy Sport choice slots, there's the Falcon I mentioned. That's a Falcon with an Eldar missile launcher, Hall of Fields and Spirit Stones. It's not my most usually taken Falcon. I normally take it with a Scatter Laser and a Shuriken Cannon, but I decided I needed some extra high strength shots this game, so Eldar missile launcher it is. My beloved 3 War Walkers, all kitted out with a total of 6 Scatter Lasers between them. And because we're fighting Marines, I've also taken a small unit of 3 Dark Reapers. The Dark Reapers are led by an Exarch with a Tempest launcher and the Crack Shot Exarch power.
Okay, here's the Blood Angels that are playing today. Because it's Clash of the Titans, bring your most powerful HQs and stuff, you may think I brought my fist on, but no. I've gone a little more fluffy and have brought good old Commander Dante. He is leading a squad of 5 Sanguinary Guards, which I've taken as a troop choice. They may look like they have a banner in there, but I couldn't quite afford it today, but they do have a Power Fist and 2 Melter Pistols. I have 2 small squads of Assault Marines. One of them has a Sergeant with a Melter Bomb, and they are in a twin-linked Las Cannon Razorback. The other one has a Flamer, and they're in a Las Plaz Razorback. We have 1 big squad of 10 Assault Marines. They've got 2 Melter Guns and a Power Fist. That's my usual standard loadout. We also have 2 Sanguinary Priests. One of them has a power weapon, one of them is just vanilla, and both of them have jump packs on. We also have a Storm Raven. It's got twin-linked Las Cannons, twin-linked multi-melters. And then here's the real meat of the list. This is a bit of a departure for me. I don't usually take quite this many Dreadnoughts, but we have a Librarian Dreadnought to start. He's there to muck with Eldrad. We have the ubiquitous twin-linked Autocannon Dreadnought, most popularly seen in Grey Knight armies, but still not bad here. We have a twin-linked Las Cannon Missile Launcher Dreadnought, And we have a Furioso Dreadnought. I've also given him a Magna Grapple today, and he is deploying in a drop pod. 2,000 points of bloody goodness.
So we won. We rolled the dice off, and the Blood Angels won the roll, choosing to go second. The Eldar turn 1 was fairly uneventful, as these things tend to be in Dawn of War. The Guardians deployed onto this forest here, near to this objective. Everything else started off the table, and we had 4 tanks come screaming onto the board. They've all gone flat out. The Harlequins are moving up to support the Guardians, and we have some Dark Reapers in the ruined Temple to Cain. We're waiting for the Blood Angels to show up, and we'll see how things go.
Okay, so Blood Angels turn 1. I moved 1 Dreadnought with the autocannons on over here. I moved a twin-link lascannon Razorback on here. Going across the back of the board, there's another fire support Dreadnought, this one with the lascannon missile launcher, coming on over here. The Las Plaz Razorback sped forwards and popped smoke, and the Storm Raven went flat out and got to the centre of the board. It opened fire of its lascannons over there, but unfortunately the night fighting was not particularly kind and I was out of range. The drop pod dropped down in the corner of the board, and the Dreadnought got out to Melter and Magna Grapple the Falcon sitting there, but unfortunately he wasn't particularly accurate or very penetrating, so not a very good turn for me. I didn't shoot much, but what I did shoot did nothing.
Eldar turn 2. We cast some psychic powers with Eldrad. He's cast Fortune on his Wave Serpent and Guide on these Dark Reapers. He had a little problem with the Warp on his other spell. He's jetted over here. A Wave Serpent full of Fire Dragons moved up to join him, and the Fire Dragons managed to shoot the big bird out of the sky. It dropped its contents in this crater which is formed. We shot those up quite a bit as well with other shooting from the army, and they also failed their pinning check. The Librarian Dreadnoughts are going to be the only thing there which is able to do something next turn. Excellent work, Fire Dragon Exarch. His crack shot allowing to go straight through the flat out cover save. Over here we moved the Falcon away from the scary Furioso Dreadnought, and this Wave Serpent shuffled along as well. And that was it really. We still have our Guardian Jetbikes and Warwalkers in reserve at the end of turn 2.
Okay, it's Blood Angels turn 2. Firstly, Commander Dante, using his pinpoint accurate deep strike, landed on the field and blocked off the back of the Wave Serpent holding Uriel and his compatriot Eldrad, plus obviously a small matter of 10 Howling Banshees. The Librarian Dreadnought, stuck behind these damned Assault Marines who failed their pinning check, managed to sneak round the side and fired off a powerful Blood Lance, ignoring Eldar's psychic interference. He managed to hit 2 vehicles and some Fire Dragons of his blast, killed a Fire Dragon, but unfortunately failed to hurt either of the vehicles. The Las Plaz down here fired at this Falcon over here, managing to stun it. The Las Missile Launcher over here fired at the Wave Serpent it is. This time I managed to immobilise it. The Las Cannon over here managed to hit the Wave Serpent at the back, but didn't do anything to it. The Dreadnought continued his appalling shooting and ran towards the Falcon in range of both his weapons, missed twice. Dante's squad opened fire on the Fire Dragons with their nice Angelus bolt guns, managing to kill all 4 of the normal ones, but the Exarch managed to make his save. Oh, leadership check for the Exarch.
Yes, so
we'll do it on camera. Not the most exciting role, but worth doing, as I remembered at this point.
It could be important, because if this guy stays around, he's going to take a shot at your Librarian Dreadnought in the shooting phase. So he's got leadership 9.
He certainly does.
He's okay.
He's not a problem. Anything else happened on my turn? Not really. The Librarian Dreadnought assaulted the Wave Serpent here, managed to rip the weapon off the top. Not the best of turns, could have been worse, but not the best.
Eldar turn 3. We had reinforcements arrive in the form of some Warwalkers and some Guardian Jetbikes which flew on the far side of the table. The Guardian Jetbikes shot their Shuriken cannon into the rear of the Furioso Dreadnought, immobilising it, which was a fantastic result for Guardian shooting. The Warwalkers here came on behind. You'll remember there was an autocannon Dreadnought and laid that to waste with their scatter lasers. Over here, the plucky Fire Dragon Exarch is planning to sell his life dearly and has managed to shake the Librarian Dreadnought, but he's surely doomed now. These tanks floated round a little bit. the Guardians and Harlequins were moving away from the oncoming Furioso. They can probably edge back again now. And Eldrad and Uriel decided that they would take precautions and jetted away with Fortune up. So this turn was another pretty good turn of shooting. Basically got rid of 2 Dreadnoughts and stopped another one from doing anything this turn. So not bad all in all.
Okay, Blood Angels turn 3. Because the Eldar reserves had done so well over this side of the board, we decided, well, we'll let them have it. Both by let them have it, I mean not shoot a lot at them, I mean back away from them, they can have that part of the table. Both Razorbacks backed away this way, using a bit of forest to get in cover from them. I fired the Dreadnought and both Razorbacks, all at the Wave Serpent over there. Unfortunately, they did a collective sod all. This squad here, though, managed to get out of their difficult terrain, and none of them died to difficult terrain checks, which is quite good. They managed to multi-assault both the Wave Serpent and the last remaining Fire Dragon. They killed the Fire Dragon and ripped the weapon off and immobilised and shaked the tank, which was a pretty good result. Over here, Dante's squad moved up and I needed another multi-assault. Dante managed to go into the Dark Reapers, while most of the rest of the squad surrounded this Wave Serpent. The squad destroyed the Wave Serpent, and Dante destroyed the Dark Reapers. Over in this corner of the board, the good old Stormbolter on the top of the drop pod managed to shoot one of the Guardian jet bikes. They failed their leadership, as Guardian jet bikes are wont to do, and they're nearly off the board, but I needed like an extra inch on his run roll, so they've got a good chance of rallying and becoming a pain in my arse again. Other than that, the only thing that happened, the Dreadnought managed to kill one Guardian with his Stormbolter. Oh yes, he's still in the game, but barely.
Eldar turn 4. The Fire Dragons moved away from the smoking wreckage of their Wave Serpent and unloaded a volley of Melter into the Sanguinary Guard, led by Dante, killing some of them. The Harlequins also moved in, shot with their shuriken pistols, amazingly managing to kill 2 of the guys, even despite their 2+ armour save and 4+ feel no pain save. They then charged into the assault, and Dante is the only one that remains, fighting 3 Harlequins. Elsewhere in the battle, we put some shots into this assault squad. They're just down to the Sergeant and the Apothecary, but they broke and moved back. Obviously they'll auto-rally next turn. And the Warwalkers began advancing, firing through the forest into this Razorback. They managed to immobilise it, so another pretty good turn.
Okay, so Blood Angel turn 4. I opened up by firing on my vehicles as usual. This one over here shot at the Warwalkers in the corner but failed to do anything. The Dreadnought here opened fire over on the Falcon, managing to get 2 penetrating hits, which was a pretty good result, but unfortunately, being a God Falcon, they didn't do a whole lot. I've removed a weapon and stopped it from firing. This Las-Plaz Razorback also fired at the Falcon. It's got a troop choice inside, and I'm really hoping to either get her immobilised or some kind of result to stop it moving, but unfortunately it was all in vain. The Librarian Dreadnought fired off his Bloodlance again, ignoring the Eldar Psychic Defence, just as he's ignored mine all game. Both have been pretty pointless. Managed to hit the Wave Serpent, cutting straight through it, managing to wreck it. Good result. You'll see the Howling Banshees and Eldrad and his Super Twin Uriel have got out the back. There were 2 Space Marines down here. One was a Sanguinary Priest and one a Power Fist Sergeant. The Sanguinary Priest decided to split off from the Sergeant and join this squad of 5 Assault Marines who have left their immobilised Razorback. He managed to get up there and they fired their bolt pistols at the Howling Banshees to no avail. The Power Fist Sergeant decided, well, he had fucked up all game, so he decided he's going to go and try and take out the Guardians, atone for his mistakes. He charged into them, but they were possessed by Cain himself, hitting him about 9 times. Or so it seemed, may not have been quite that many, but he fell to the wounds. Over here, Dante managed to wipe out the last of the Harlequins. The last one, the Shadow Seer, is running off the board with no hope of rallying. He has got himself into a very good cover position. He's scared of the Fire Dragons over there. Now, I don't know what you think. I'm not sure whether they'll be able to see through there, because he's nicely covered, but we'll have to wait and see till he moves them.
Eldar turn 5. Uriel and Eldrad. Oh, Eldrad managed to deal himself a 2nd wound from Perils of the Warp, meaning he only has 1 wound left. He then ceased to cast psychic powers. He didn't want to fear losing his last wound as well. So Eldrad and Uriel left the Banshee squad and joined this Guardian squad guarding this objective. The Falcon moved flat out in order to get the Dire Avengers next to this objective, so we currently control both objectives. These Banshees ran round and ate a assault squad. The Fire Dragons managed to find a tiny little line of sight through this big building. You can kind of see a bit of sunlight coming through there. And managed to unload a volley of Melter into Dante, who unfortunately bit it, or fortunately for me. And the War Walkers continued to pour shuriken cannon, scatterlaser fire into this Razorback and have stopped it shooting for the turn. So at the end of Eldar turn 5, we can control both objectives, and we've also killed Dante, so we've got 3 objective points to the Space Marine 0. The kill points is currently 9 kill points to the Eldar and 6 to the Space Marines, so they've got their work cut out for them. Can they make it?
Okay, Blood Angels turn 5. This could be the end of the game. We'll roll at the end of this bit of video. So over here, this Razorback, not done anything all game, continued that with sitting there being shaken and stunned and stuff. This Dreadnought moved sideways, took a pot shot at the Fire Dragons, only managed to kill one of them. This Assault Squad and their Razorback, the Razorback charged forward, parking itself on the objective, tank shocking the Guardian unit. They made their leadership check, so no running away for them. The squad got out and ran. They're now claiming the objective, which is Dante's body. He's not really dead, he's just badly wounded. And they are also claiming this if all the Eldar had died. You can see by the picture they have not. The Dreadnought moved sideways and assaulted into them. He got into contact with Uriel. I was hoping to kill a few of them and make them break, but Uriel gets the strike first. He had 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, shaking on 4s, and blowing up on 5s, and guess what he did? He managed to take me. So Dreadnought didn't get to attack back. Last chance of glory really gone there. Nothing else happened. It's now going to be the end of the game. If the dice comes up a 1 or a 2, the Eldar player wins 2 victory points to 1. Sorry, not victory points, 2 objectives to 1. He holds 1 with his Falcon, with its Davu upgrade, and I hold this one here, but because I'm holding that, it means Dante's dead, meaning he's scored an extra 1. Let's see what we get. The game is over. Well done, the Eldar. Okay, so the game is over. We're just going to do a little roundup as we've started doing on our videos now. So, firstly, Paul, how do you think the mission went?
Well, I was really pleased with the Eldar's performance there. I think I had quite a bit of luck, particularly in the early phases. Your shooting wasn't going very well, mine was going excellently. Yeah,
the first 2-3 turns you really killed what you wanted to each turn, whereas I was shaking and glancing at best. But it kind of turned around a bit at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's turned around at the end, so it was quite an exciting finish.
Yeah, it was a really good end of the game. There was chances of it swinging.
The Fire Dragons, I mean, the Fire Dragons are always excellent, and they, as a result, you very rarely see them on the table at the end of the game.
But there they are, still surviving.
So they were still doing their job on turn 5. And the War Walkers over there are another unit which normally comes on and does something and then dies.
It's because my army puts out a reasonable quantity of good shots, but it doesn't put out a lot of shots. So dealing with things like a Fire Dragon squad and 3 War Walkers, I don't really have any weapons I can turn on them.
Yeah.
Because this is a campaign game, we get to know what mission we're playing and what army we're fighting against before we decide our army list, so we can tailor to a certain degree. So I knew I was playing Eldar, I'd taken lots of weapons that are good at popping hollow tanks.
Yes, and I'd taken all the anti-Eldar, anti-Space Marine stuff like Howling Banshees and Dark Reapers.
Yeah, so that's just so you know how our armies come to be chosen to be particularly good versus our opponents in this case.
So this means on campaign season 3 I now control 2 regions of Faaris 4, which is not too bad.
You do. Mark and I will be doing our battles hopefully next weekend, so look out for the videos.
Mark's currently got 1, so he needs to win to keep up. You've already got 2, so
I have, so I can stretch my lead.
You need to win now to keep in front. And my army now has digital lasers and mastercrafted weapons on an HQ of my choice for
yeah, that's for winning the battle. As far as my side of the battle goes, I mean, it didn't go too badly in the end. It was quite close, closer than I thought it was. After about turn 2 or 3, I was really worried. The Storm Raven, which created this crater, I charged it forward to get it within Psychic Hood range, which did nothing all game, really. And I expected it to die, but the fact it blew up and then they failed their check, I'd expected it to die and then they could counter-assault, killing the Fire Dragons that killed it, and hopefully the Dark Reapers as well, was my plan. Because they got pinned, it really left that whole side of the battle open. And the pin from my half. The Librarian Dreadnought from doing anything. Yeah, the pin blocked in the Librarian Dreadnought. It was just a really... That role was, I think, the most key role of the battle. And the other turning point from my side was when your Harlequins shot their shuriken pistols and killed 2 sanguinary guards.
Through 2+ armour and a 4+ feel no pain check.
Yeah, 5 shuriken pistols killed 2 of them. That was
five
appalling.
Killed 2.
Yeah,
and then notes 4 shuriken pistols.
Because if they'd have stayed alive, I think because you only killed the last 2 with the exact number of wounds.
Yes.
And if they'd have stayed alive, I'd have won that combat, and then I'd have had that squad to do with on my turn. They could have killed the fire dragons that then killed Dante, but it was kind of like a bit of a domino effect.
Yes.
You killed those 2, thus you didn't lose that combat that turn, and it just delayed it for a whole turn, letting you get in position.
I'm not sure I used the Banshees to their greatest effect. Because I had both my HQs on board and we were playing this HQ to count as an objective point mission, then I was rather conservative with them.
And again, I think we've played against each other so many times, I very rarely put any squads within distance of charging out of the wave serpent they were in, so thus it was in your interest to stay in it, because getting out just would subject you to fire.
Get on foot and then get wiped out.
No, that's it.
So
but they survived. They killed a troop unit over here which was going for the objective, so it did a job there, and Eldrad's still alive, and that was the main point.
Managed to nearly kill himself.
Yeah. My psychic hood did nothing, but and neither did your ghost helm.
And then Uriel was obviously excellent at the end there with his chopping up a
yeah, killed the dreadnought. It did well. Overall, though, good game. I enjoyed the mission as well. I'll happily play this one again. You never know, maybe they'll add it into the book in 6th edition. We'll have to wait a week and find out.